I finally finished The Defining Decade, a book for the 20-something-year-old that I am barely anymore. If you have been following my almost 100-day journey, it's about 90-something days ago that I started to daily vlog. But if you followed my journey, you might have noticed there were a couple of videos in August around my birthday where I talked about reading this book. The only problem was I didn't finish it, and it took me until now to actually get through to the last page to read the whole thing. And I'm very happy that I did. It was extremely impactful at the time already, but it was even more impactful now that I have just wrapped it up, and it has a couple of very poignant insights right at the end. The main concept of the whole book is kind of based on the idea that 20-somethings are or have a tendency to think that life goes on forever, like it is in that moment, and there's a group of people that kind of wastes their time away and not really making any big decisions. And I'm not sure if I count myself completely in that, but this book for sure gave me a new perspective into what life is about, how life is progressing over time, as well as things that you might have to do before you end up in a certain place where you see yourself in the future. It is kind of very hard to imagine what actually goes into certain aspects. In the book, Meg Jay mentions people that want to be lawyers but don't really realize that it takes about 5 years to go to law school and go through the whole process in America. A couple of the main points for me were two things. One was building wealth, being able to retire at a certain age, actually building a retirement portfolio, and maybe also planning for that to kick in earlier than 67. And the second aspect on that was also the whole child debate. Whether or not I want to have children at some point, when I want those, and what other people have experienced around having children later versus having them more earlier. I don't really want to go through the whole book and give you all kinds of points about it. I believe that it's an important book to kind of like read yourself and experience her frankness about the subject matter and the directness with which she addresses those topics and brings them to the table without hesitation, and a clearness that is very refreshing. And to me, it certainly is something like, of course, it's easy to say someone should have told me or something, but if parents tell you these kind of things, you don't listen. But if you choose to pick up a book like this, or you choose to watch the TED Talk that she has done, those things they tend to resonate more with you, or at least with me, they tend to resonate much more if I consume it and learn it on my own terms, just like learning in general works much, much better if I am on my own terms and I actually make the decision to do so, instead of having someone external just like bang it into my head or try to. I think it's an extremely important aspect to look at life more seriously and look at our choices more seriously. I see problems that I'm still doing. I certainly am overspending in areas, might be able to save more in other areas. But I'm also not thinking about certain questions that might actually make a lot of sense in the near future, rather than putting them off into the distant future on and on again, constant procrastination. And with this, I often ask myself about the choices of other people. And of course, I'm not in their shoes in certain regards. The two main things that for me come to mind are smoking and drinking a lot of alcohol, or just focused on partying. It's very easy for me to judge why would someone do that, or that I don't necessarily want to do those things. And I have my personal reasons for those. And I might do exploration, maybe a podcast, maybe a video on this topic in the future. It is a very tricky one where I sometimes wish people would look at it with a frankness that I understand, but at the same time, I don't see it from their point of view. So it's very hard to make a judgment or stay away from one and just explore it from what I think about it and what other people might think about it. Overall, I can highly recommend this book. I definitely think that it changed my mind on a lot of things. I will have the link in the description below. And if you want to just get the gist or the overarching idea before even diving into the book, I will also link the TED Talk that Meg Jay did in the description below as well. So, and what I want to leave you with today is the last quote that Meg Jay has in her book on practically the last page of the content. And the quote goes like this: "The future isn't written in the stars. There are no guarantees, so claim your adulthood, be intentional, get to work, pick your family, do the math, make your own certainty. Don't be defined by what you didn't know or didn't do. You are deciding your life right now." So do that and stay inspired to grow and believe in yourself, make something happen. And if you want to, this is a great book. Until tomorrow, bye.